Hey you guys, and welcome back to the Tempest Productions, and tonight I will be talking about the movie Hidden Figures, which stars Octavia Spencer, Taraji P. Henson, and Janelle Monáe. Now, to start off with the storyline, it's basically about these three African-American women who worked for NASA during the time of racism and when that was still a huge problem. And so basically it shows the story of how they got this astronaut named John Glenn and how they basically got him into space and how they achieved the goal of him going in orbit and everything like that. That's basically the storyline for this film, and you see all the stages in how they got to that point, and it sort of shows all three characters' lives, and not just when they're working for NASA, but outside of working for NASA, and how they overcome some of the racism and how they overcome maybe some of the personal problems that they have in their own life. Even though they all can relate to what they're dealing with, and they all deal with it together as a group. Now, to start off, I did not expect to like this film as much as I did. I wasn't going in with, like, super low expectations or anything. I thought to myself, I'm gonna like this movie. I just didn't think I would like it as much as I actually did, which was very good. I thought the movie was gonna go in a completely different direction, and I didn't think it would turn out the way it was, so I was very pleased with that. To start, I keep saying to start off, but, I don't know what to talk about because there's so much to talk about without giving anything away. And I'm not gonna do a spoiler, or I'm not gonna give spoilers, so it's gonna be a spoiler-free review, as all my reviews in the past have been. It is just surprisingly difficult to do a movie review on your own instead of, like, with a friend or something, when I normally have Ryan on, or Brendan, which you saw earlier in my Underworld Blood Wars review. But even in that review, I was awkward as hell, and I couldn't really tell you what the film was about. But that's just how I review movies. I kind of tell you what I think about them without telling you what it's about, because you should already know. Now, I went into this movie not really knowing anything about it besides the storyline. I didn't see any trailers for it, and I normally see every trailer, but this one I didn't, and it shocked me so much. I will say, and I'm glad I didn't see any trailers, because I think it would have given away a little bit too much, and I would have expected some things that I didn't expect, and things that I felt really nervous about while watching this movie, which a lot of them were the launches that they did throughout the movie, and unmanned or manned, either way, it really made me nervous, and they did a great job of directing that. I will say this, Taraji P. Henson, I love her. I absolutely love her. I think she's an amazing, beautiful actress, and she's been really good in Person of Interest, which was like the first thing I ever really saw her in, and I think it's actually the only thing that I saw her in. And after watching 2 seasons of that, or almost 2 seasons, despite what the show is, I really loved her character, and I could feel for her character in that show, and she did the exact same thing in this movie, just 10 times better. And I think that's mainly because of the role and the time period that this was in. This film is surprisingly very funny. I thought it was just gonna be about, like, race and the dark times and, like, all about the space race and things like that. So I thought it was just going to be about those conflicts, but it wasn't. They turned those dark elements and conflicts and made them into a little bit more humorous. Not saying that the situation that they're going through or the conflict is humorous, but the characters themselves and line in the situation that they're in, because they accept it. I mean, they don't want to, but they accept it, and they try to make the best of it. And I thought that was really, really good for the storyline. And and it made me care for the characters a lot more than I thought I would. And I cared for each character, maybe some more than others, especially Taraji P. Henson's character, because, man, did she steal the show. A lot of people are going to be like, oh, Octavia Spencer, like, she's going to be nominated, and I don't know if this is all true or if she's going to be nominated. I'm just saying, a lot of people are going to go towards her just because she's been in a lot more films and she's more known, but I feel like Taraji P. Henson did an amazing job. And also Janelle Monáe was really funny. Every time she spoke, at least almost every time she spoke, she was hilarious, and I just laughed at everything she said. But basically, they try to get this guy up into space because the Russians are ahead of them, and they're trying to get a man on the moon, is what they're basically trying to do. But NASA, however, is not only trying to do that, but trying to get someone into space and into orbit. So what that means is go into orbit around the entire Earth, however many times. I think it's only once, so don't know the technicalities, but that's the main point of this movie. And just the journey of seeing how they accomplish it it's mesmerizing. I was trying to come up with the word for it. But I know I'm saying, like, they get there and everything like that, but you should already know that going into the movie. I'm not doing spoilers on how they get there, or, you know, some of the things that happen to the characters in their personal lives, but you should already know that they get there, since it's based on a true story, and of what they probably showed you in the trailer. So it's not spoilers, it's just something you should already know going into the film. You're there to see how they got there, how they got to the moon, and how they got the man to orbit around. And I think the whole story of that was very interesting, very well done, and again, really surprisingly funny to me. All in all, I think I'm gonna go ahead and give it my rating now. To talk about maybe some things that were kind of off-putting, if that's the right terminology for that. For me, I didn't love all the chemistry between the characters, at first, though. It wasn't like that throughout, well, it was like that throughout the whole movie up until the end, and everything kind of connected and made more sense on why the characters did some of the things that they did to the other characters, and it made up for all the doubt or concern I had for, excuse me, that situation in that brief time. So I thought they did a very good job of nitpicking away the things that I would normally nitpick at. Sorry guys, I gotta look at my list again. So, to basically critically put this movie for a score, I would say I would give it a great. I really wanted to give it an awesome, which is right before excellency, which is our highest rating. But I really wanted to give it an awesome. I just couldn't for some reason. I did go into this movie liking it a lot better than I thought I did. I just didn't love it as much as I would have liked to. That doesn't mean I'm not going to see it again. I'm going to get it on Blu-ray. I'm going to watch it again. I'll go more in depth with it whenever I see it for the second time. It's just I didn't like it as much as I wanted to give it a better rating, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a great. And it's definitely better than Underworld Blood Wars, even though that has no correlation. I'm tired of that movie. I'm done with Underworld Blood Wars. I'm kind of done with that series, even though I haven't even finished it. Just putting that aside, now we're back to the good movies of January. And I know January is Wasteland Movie Month. I know it is, but I think this year might change that, so we'll see. This movie is definitely going to be up there for probably one of the better films of 2017, at least in my opinion. So, that's my review, guys, for Hidden Figures. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know in the comments below if you have seen it, what your thoughts about it were, whether or not you're going to watch it again, and, yeah, that's about it. So, thank you guys for watching. My name is Nick, this is The Tempest Productions, and I will see you guys in the next video.